Hey, Trending Topics. This is Miss Corey, and today we're going to go through kind of an introduction of the course. So, here's a little bit about me. So, my name is Corey Stodic. You can just call me Miss Corey. Here's a picture of me up here. Here's my beautiful, lovely dog, Stella. She is a barker. She's a tiny dog with a loud bark. So, you will hear her barking in the background of these videos, and I apologize for that. So, this is my fourth year teaching overall. This is my third year at ISD 728 Online. I have a Bachelor of Arts in History, specifically in Ancient History. I also have a Master's of Education in Secondary Social Studies, and I have a minor in Spanish Studies. I have some, I don't know, random hobbies like fishing, gardening, canning, and admiring pets. I also picked up golfing this summer, and I'm awful at it, but that's okay. My favorite subject in history to learn about is definitely ancient Egypt, which this is a trending topics course, so we probably aren't going to really talk about any of that kind of stuff. But I am excited to learn about the news of the world with y'all. So let's go through some of the units for this course. So Unit 1 will be what is news. Unit 2 will be bias. Unit 3 will be fake news. Unit 4 will be logical fallacies, deep fakes, and online trolls. Unit 5 will be social dilemmas. Unit 6 will be world issues. And Unit 7 will be a year in review. So these are all really interesting topics and units that I'm excited to learn about because I'm probably going to learn about most of these with you since this is my first time teaching this course. So, I just want to lay down some ground rules before we get started with this course. So, I know trending topics is a really hot topic to, you know, have as a classroom course. And especially because this is my first time ever teaching this course, I just want to make sure it goes smoothly as possible for everyone. So please do have patience with me. I try to have patience with you. And we're going to figure out all of this together. So I guarantee that there will be hotly debated topics that come up in class. Okay. Is just gonna happen because we're taking real life news and entering it into this class. But, this class is not your platform to debate or fight anyone over any topic, okay? We have to use respect. So, this class is used as a way to get tools for you to be a smart consumer of news and media. Again, this class is not your platform to spread your ideologies. It is a way to gain tools to be a smart consumer of news and media. So let's talk about what is acceptable and not acceptable in this class. So it is okay to politely disagree with a classmate. So here's kind of an example I just kind of made up. So if Linda writes, I think that phones should be banned from schools because they're too distracting and grades go down. And Hector writes, I disagree with you because phones can be a helpful tool in class, like playing Kahoot. Okay? That was like super politely disagreeing, right? You're not calling that person dumb or stupid. You're just telling, oh, well, I disagree because of this. Pretty simple. This is not an okay way to disagree. So if Linda writes, I think that phones should be banned from schools because they are too distracting and grades go down. And then Hector writes back, Linda, you are so wrong. Phones are so helpful. Only teachers' pets would want phones banned. You are so dumb. Okay, that is not an okay way to disagree whatever Hector wrote. Okay? Because that's kind of it's attacking the other students at that point. Um, yeah, that is not okay for this class. So this is an okay way to write an article summary. So we're going to do a lot of article summaries in this class. We're going to read an article and then you're going to kind of give me like a, I don't know, 3-4 sentence summary. And what you need to do is make sure it is least biased as possible. We're going to talk about biases in Unit 1. So I'll leave that for now. We'll learn about that later. But if Vicky writes, this article talks about how there was a presidential debate last night in Las Vegas. The candidates go off topic when debating about healthcare and the cost of healthcare. All right. Vicky's telling me just kind of the very basics, mostly unbiased things that happened in her article summary. This is not an okay way to write an article summary. So Vicky writes, last night's debate was so one-sided. President Jones is the best. Anyone who thinks differently is dumb. My family and I love President Jones. President Smith is so boring and doesn't make sense. He's just going to make this country worse. His answers to healthcare is so extreme. That is not an okay way to write an article summary because you're pretty much putting in all of your opinion at this point. So make sure it is least biased as possible. And again, we'll talk about biases in Unit 1. All right, another thing. Do not do any name calling, teasing, bullying, or hate speech in this class. So let's go through some examples of what that might look like. So an example of name calling would be like this. Susan, you are so stuck up when it comes to educational apologies. That's name calling. You're calling Susan stuck up. That ain't okay. An example of teasing would be, Tom, your answers to questions never make sense. Can you not even write a complete sentence? That would be considered teasing. Here's an example of bullying. Vicky, you should stop talking. Your views on this topic are awful. And here's an example of hate speech. These people should not belong in the community. They only bring crime and destruction. So these are things that you cannot do in the class. If I see this happening, well, there'll be a lot of consequences. You're going to be getting a 0 on the assignment. You'll get a call home and a message to your counselor and your vice principal. So if you cannot handle yourself in what you say, you should probably talk to your counselor and choose a different class than this one. All right, I went through some heavy stuff. So what questions do you have about anything I just talked about? And if you don't have any questions, that's okay. Just type none. All right. And if you ever do have questions throughout the course, please let me know. I'm more than happy to help you out. So let's go through some of the other basics. So course lingo. So for this class, if you've never had another class with me before, you'll probably think this lingo is a little weird, but you'll catch on really, really quick. So assignments are going to be structured with U and then a number, dash L and then a number. So U stands for unit, L stands for lesson. So for example, if I say U0-L1, that is unit 3, lesson 2. Or for this example here, U0-L9, that would be unit 1, lesson 9. Grading. So 70% of your grade is summative. So this includes tests, projects, essays. I don't think there's any essays. Pretty much tests and projects. And 30% of your grade will be formative. So that would be like the daily work, including ed puzzles. There are no study guides. Sorry, I just copied and pasted this for my world history class and tweaked it a little bit. I forgot to delete that. And formative work is usually 5 points. Summative work varies, but usually in a 20 to 35 point range. There will be a summative at the end of every unit except for unit 1, I believe. So due dates for an assignment are due that Sunday at midnight. Unless it's otherwise noted, it's going to be very rare if it ever even happens. If it is due on another day besides Sunday at midnight, I will make sure that it is very clear of when the due date is. But otherwise, always expect it due Sundays at midnight. So if you look here, like on what you need to do for this week, you have like U0-L2, that's due Sunday, September 8th at midnight, or U0-L3 due Sunday, September 8th at midnight. Pretty much all the time, it will be due on Sundays at midnight. So let's talk about attendance, because attendance is really tricky and this trips a lot of students up. So attendance is based upon assignment completion, right? Because we don't meet like in a synchronous class. Everything's asynchronous. So that's where attendance plays a really heavy role with assignment completion. So you must complete all assignments for the current week in order to be marked as present for this class. And I have an example of that on the next page. So here is a calendar example. So as you can see here, you have assignment each day of the week. So like lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3, lesson 4, lesson 5, they are all going to be due on Sunday, September 15th at midnight. So you have to get all 5 of these done by Sunday at midnight. If you fail to even complete one of these assignments, you will be marked absent. That's right. You have to do every single assignment for me in order to be marked present for attendance. So here's some scenarios. What happens if I was sick or on vacation Tuesday through Friday? So if you were present on Monday, but you were out for the rest of the week, you were still obligated to complete every single assignment for that week. But let's say you went to school on Monday, okay? And all of a sudden Monday night you got a fever and you're out for the rest of the school week. Now, what you need to do is you should probably email me and let me know that, hey, I'm sick. Can I get like an extra day or something like that? And I will probably say yes, but you know, make sure that you're asking in a timely manner. And I'm pretty good about granting things like that, but you have to email me, okay? Because if you don't, then I'll mark you absent. Or what happens if you're on vacation Monday through Friday or was called out sick Monday through Friday? So you need to email me, okay? And you need to let me know that you're on vacation or you're out sick for the entire week. So the thing is with the online world, I don't get notifications saying that like, oh, this student is out sick today or something like that. You have to email me that way. And then what I'll do is I'll verify your absence with your home school to verify your excuse. And if you don't email me, I will never know that you're on vacation or sick, and I will mark you absent. So communication is key. So what happens if I am marked absent? Well, not very pleasant things are going to happen to you. So for attendance, I do attendance on Monday mornings for the week prior. For Monday holidays, it'll be done on Tuesday, but that doesn't happen super often. So you're going to get an email from your teacher, so me, to you, your parents, your counselor, and your administration if you're marked absent. Yeah, even your vice principal gets notified. And 2 absences in a row is going to equal a call home, and 3 absences may result in truancy, which means you're getting kicked out of the class. So, in other words, do your work and you'll be good. Now, here's just something I have to read out about student absences and being successful in online classes. So students who are struggling with the learning model of online 728 will be moved to in-person or blended opportunities as an intervention step to promote student success. Struggling is demonstrated by poor attendance or lack of engagement in online coursework. It is important to remember that online learning is an option for students and not suitable for all learners. Moving students to a learning model that provides more direct teacher instruction follows MTSS guideline for interventions. All right, so I also have heard this before, but I was so busy with real school that I forgot about this class. Newsflash, this is real school. You need a certain amount of credits to graduate. So this class is just as important as any of your in-person classes. So when should you do your work? That's a really good question. So because you're taking an online class, that tells me that you're somewhat of an independent worker. There are no teachers there to physically bug you. Do your work. Do your work. You know, I'm not there to do that. All of you have one period blocked out of your class schedule for this class. So you can work during that class period that you have blocked out, or you can find your own time. Just make sure that you do your work. My suggestion is to be consistent. Set aside daily time to do the class work. Don't just cram it all in one day. Also, put away your phone. Time management. When it comes to these assignments, it's hard to say because this is my first time teaching the course, but rarely do assignments take 15 minutes. Some might. Most assignments will probably take more towards the half-hour mark, but your class period that you have blocked out in your schedule for this class is about 52 minutes. So I try to fill, a reasonable amount of time of what a normal class period would be. What happens if you need help? It's a really easy solution. Email me. Please, please email me. I am here to help you out. Now, if you email me at Sunday at 10 p.m., I'm probably not going to email you back if you need help. So definitely make sure that you look through your assignments for the week to make sure that you understand everything. So you're not emailing me at like 10 p.m. on Sunday. Typically, if you email me like Sunday at noon, then I can get back to you. But even then, that's cutting it pretty close. Also, you can sign up for Google Meets with me. There's a link on top of the Schoology page of how to find that booking link. And of course, emailing is probably the best contact method for me. All right, so late assignments may be turned in but are subject to having points deducted for lateness. When you turn in a late assignment, please email me right away so I can grade it. If you don't email me, I'm probably not going to see that you submitted it, and it's just going to remain a 0, and that would be very, very sad. All right, now let's talk about probably one of my least favorite subjects, which is plagiarism and AI. So, AI is here to stay in our society. I'm very biased when it comes to it. I think AI takes away a lot of the skills that make you a better student, learner, and worker, but I also know I can't avoid it. So, let's lay down some ground rules. So, rules with AI. The only thing I will permit you to use AI in this class is to proofread or spell check. You cannot copy and paste anything from an AI site. So, if ChatGPT tells you to reword a sentence, you cannot just copy and paste that sentence into your assignment. You must write it with your own hands. You cannot use AI to complete your assignments, be it summative or formative. And if you use AI for proofreading and spell checking, you must cite it so I know that you used it. Okay? So, how to cite AI. So, remember, you can only use it for spell checking or proofreading in this class. So, let me walk you through this. If you've ever done citations before, be it like MLA, this is very similar. But of course, it's just a smidge different because it's a different resource, right? AI is kind of new to everybody. So, let's say I was doing an assignment and I typed into an AI website like, hey, AI, check this paragraph for spelling mistakes. So, whatever you type in, like whatever directions you type into that AI website, is what's going to go here on the first citation. So, you're going to do quotation marks, and say, check this paragraph of spelling mistakes, period, quotation marks. Then next to that, you're going to put the AI website that you used, comma, and then when the version of AI was last updated. So the 13th of Feb, for example. And then for the version, you just keep that right there. You don't change that at all. Comma, and then OpenAI, keep that as well because the websites are typically OpenAI. And then next to that, you're going to do the date that you access the AI. So let's say I accessed it the 27th of August, 2024. And then you're going to put the website URL link at the very end. So for example, if I was doing this assignment and I told AI to spell check this paragraph down here, and I said, check this paragraph of spelling mistakes, then I would cite it down here below with the proper citation. So if you give answers to questions that are not in the video or information of the assignment, I will suspect you of using AI inappropriately, and you will get a 0 on the assignment and an email from me. If you plagiarize or use AI inappropriate, you will probably lose my trust really fast. I may become pickier on your assignments, which may result to a lower grade. So if plagiarism also becomes a huge problem, I will use Turnitin for all assignments. And then there's also the link to the 728 AI policy if you're interested in that. So if AI is used inappropriately, so not for proofreading or spell checking, then I will ban it for everyone. So please use it wisely or else you're going to spoil it for everyone, and that's not a great way to make friends. And I will alert you of any AI usage changes for this course. So I kind of threw a lot of info at you. So what questions do you have about AI usage in this course? And if you don't have any, that's okay. Just type none. All right, let's do a quick quiz. What are the only 2 ways you can use AI in this course? Is it A, making outlines for essays and making MLA citations? B, making images to use for slides and using AI voices for presentations? Or C, proofreading and spell checking? Yep, hopefully you said C, proofreading and spell checking. Another question. If I do use AI for proofreading and spell checking, I can just copy and paste the new words into my assignment. That is false. That's right. You need to type it with your own hand, and you also must cite it. All right, let's talk about some other tools used for this course. So for Edpuzzle, that is a tool that I use a lot, especially for my other classes. This class, I'm not quite sure how much I'll use it just because, again, this is my first year teaching it. Google Slides, that will be an important one for research assignments, also just organization. Schoology, which is our home base for all assignments and announcements. So since I will be using Edpuzzle, I just want to go through kind of a little tutorial and tips for Edpuzzle. So when watching Edpuzzles, make sure you sign in with your ISD 728 account. Make sure your ad blocker is turned off. Seriously, do this or else Edpuzzle is not going to work for you very well. If you don't know where your ad blocker is, it's typically a little hand in the upper right corner, and you can say pause on this site for Edpuzzle. Questions that I will ask you will pop up on the side of the Edpuzzle video and pause the video for you to answer. If these do not occur, you're going to turn off your ad blocker. For you to get any points, you must watch the Edpuzzle until the very, very end. Usually it has like a little icon that says like you're done or submitted or something like that. And let me know if you have any questions with Edpuzzle because I can certainly help you out. So let's test this out. If the video did not stop right now or a few seconds ago, your Edpuzzle is not working correctly. So make sure that you turned off your ad blocker. If the video just stopped for you and you had to answer the question, you go into Target with $5. What are you buying? Then Edpuzzle is working for you. All right, so when watching an Edpuzzle video, make sure you watch it until the very, very, very end. If you don't, you won't get any points for the video, which means that Schoology does not, or Edpuzzle does not kick a score into Schoology's gradebook. No score would mean that you get an absence for your attendance. So make sure you watch it all the way to the very, very end. All right, so you might look at the gradebook one day on Schoology and you're like, wait a minute. I did the Edpuzzle. Why is there a 0 in the gradebook? That's a really good question. So a 0 means you completed the Edpuzzle, and now I just simply have to go in and grade it. So I individually grade all Edpuzzles and your answers that you give. And yeah, I seriously do. I sit there and read every single one of them. So you have to give me about 48 hours to give you a grade. If it's still a 0 after the 48 hours, email me and I will grade it right away. All right, test corrections. So there'll probably be some sort of test correction for this course. I'm not 100% sure what it's going to look like because I'm still building it. But for summative assessments, students will have a choice of doing something called a test correction. Test corrections may vary from summative to summative, but essentially it is a way that you're able to gain back half the points that you initially missed. But let's say you got a 0 on a formative assessment. There are no redos for that. You will just have to take the 0. All right, let's do a quick check. Answering the Edpuzzle. What is the best way to contact your teacher? Hopefully you said email. You can also make a Google Meet with me, but email, I'll respond a lot faster. All right, here's another question. Answering the Edpuzzle. What percentage of assignments do you need to do in order to be marked as present for attendance? Is it A, 75%, B, 25%, C, 100%, or D, 50%? Hopefully you said C, 100%. Now let's take a tour of Schoology. All right, so if we go into Schoology, to find our course, what you need to do is click on the courses icon. Our course is right here. It says Trending Topics Fall 2024, and it's like a stack newspaper. You're going to click on that. Up here, you will see my contact information, how to sign up for a meeting with me, some other important stuff, parent and guardian resources if your parents have any questions about how Schoology works. There's also the syllabus, which is located right here. I have the calendar that changes every week of what assignments you need to do. I typically change them on Sundays. Then we have our folders. So what you're working on right now is this orientation materials folder. So make sure that you are doing that for this week. And then once next Sunday rolls around, I will open up the Unit 1 folder for you to get started on. Also, note that the grade book's over here. That is the most up-to-date way to get your grades. I typically update Campus about once a week, maybe twice. Depends how much grades I get done. But if you do have any questions about the grade book, do let me know. All right, let's go back to our slideshow. So let's wrap this up. If you do not think you can meet all the time and assignment requirements for this class, you need to contact your counselor now to change classes. Do you have any questions about the course? If you don't have any, that's okay. Just type none. All right, next up, you're going to do U0-L2, writing and sending an appropriate email. If you have any questions, please let me know. I am more than happy to help you out. Thank you for watching. Bye.